All right, we are going to start. So today what we're going to talk about is the practice of giving in Burmese. Pekan Ludan Sonlotche Nupenya. Okay. So this is continuation of what we have been learning about how to be successful in life. All right, so this is our agenda for today. We're going to have Warren Dhamma discussion mindset. Then we will talk about what we should know before and after. And we will review what SPLOT stand for. You should remember this by heart for now. And we'll talk about why do US colleges ask for volunteer activities and how does it relate to the topic that we're discussing today. And we will talk about one of the very, very famous Jataka, the Benevolent King Wishantara. And we'll talk about the take-home message and you guys will review. All right, သင်မဲ့သင်ခန်းစာလေးကဒါ series နံပါတ်9ပေါ့နော်လောကမှာဘလို့အောင်မြင်ရမလဲဆိုတဲ့ဟာလေးကိုကျွန်တော်တို့တတ္တာသီလသုဒ္ဓစာကပညာကိုပြောလာတဲ့အခါမှာကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့စာကအပိုင်းကိုသင်မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ကလေးတွေကိုစာကအကြောင်းကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ရှင်းပြပေးမယ်ပြီးရင်ဒီ American မှာကလေးတွေတက်ကိုအကြောင်းရှောက်ရင်ဘာကြောင့်မို့သူတို့ volunteer လုပ်တဲ့ activity အကြောင်းတွေကတောင်းလာလဲဆိုတဲ့ဟာလေးနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးကျွန်တော် discuss လုပ်မယ်ပြီးရင်မြတ်စွာဘုရားရဲ့ဇတ်တော်ရီတွေကဝေဒနာဇတ်အကြောင်းကိုကျွန်တော်တို့အင်္ဂလိပ်လိုဖတ်ပြီးတော့ဆွေးနွေးကြမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ် All right, we'll have our Dhamma discussion mindset together. I like to discuss Dhamma. I discuss Dhamma. I enjoy discussing Dhamma. I am happy discussing Dhamma. Discussing Dhamma is the only thing I am focused on at this moment. Pyadvero the Dhammago Lulu Chinchin Suinui Java go eat. Rina Gamonzwa Suinui Java go eat. Suinui Jenai Muilio Nichai Java go eat. Suinui Jenai Pyoshin Java go eat. Suinui Jen the Kure Naida. Mimiro e seiko dita susai java gong e. All right, so pre and post knowledge challenge. What does SPLOT stand for and why do we need to practice it? So we have been using this mnemonic of SPLOT. Stand for sure, pure, learner, offer, doer. And it is important because with those 5 things, it will help you get to your goal, attain your goal. Very good. So do you remember how we say that in Pali? Sila? No. Okay. Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Saga, Pinya. We'll go over that again, okay? We're going to talk about what's the difference between donation or in Pali dana and renunciation or saga. Why do US colleges value volunteering experience in selecting a candidate? Very important for some of you now. What are the traits of a community center versus self-centered person? Who is Ken Wesantra and why is his story so valued in Buddhism? Why is the art of letting go important in life? And when you do again, remember the Quentin Nobis thing. So, okay. So here is the revision of SPLOT. Stand for sure, pure, learner, offer, and doer. All right. So basically, it's talking about sure meaning confidence, confidence in what you do, confidence in your teacher, your parents, the career that you pick. Pure is discipline, yourself. Okay. And if we talk about the higher level, we're talking about the sila here, the knowledge, sacrifice, and practice. So in Pali, repeat after me. Saddha, sila, sutta, saga, penya. Let's repeat that again. Saddha, sila, sutta, saga, penya. Okay. So with these 5 things, you will excel anything in life, whether we're talking about our daily life or we're talking about our super mundane life if you want to be liberated from samsara. So, all right. So this week, what we're going to talk about is saga. In Pali, saga, in Burmese, it means sacrifice. What do you understand by sacrifice? You lose something for a greater good. Very good. Ricky? You let go of something. Very good. Did you give up something? So sacrifice, there's a darker side of the meaning. So in a darker side, what is sacrifice? Very good. Long time ago, you want to sacrifice animals. You kill animals and offer to God. You even kill human beings to offer to God. That's also a sacrifice, but that is the dark sacrifice that we do not support. Buddhism totally against it, right? We don't kill any animal. So we're not talking about that kind of sacrifice here. We're talking about the good sacrifice saga. Okay? ကျွန်တော်တို့ပြောနေတာရစ်ပူဇော်တဲ့ sacrifice မဟုတ်ဘူးเนาะဒီမှာ saga ဆိုတာဆောင်းလောက်ခြင်းဆိုတဲ့ဟာကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီပြောကြမှာဖြစ်တယ် Okay. So now we want you to understand the difference between donation, dana, sacrifice, saga, and nekkhamma. What's the difference between donation and sacrifice? What's the difference between dana and saga? Yes, very good. So usually we donate because we have extra, because we can afford it. Just because I donate something will not make me homeless, right? So by donating something, yes, you lose whatever you donate. If you donate $1 million or $1, you lose that, but it does not materially or spiritually affect you in a negative way. Okay. Now, in sacrifice, your donation is so strong, your desire is so strong that even if it affects you physically, emotionally, spiritually, you still do that. Okay, there is something that you lose in sacrifice or saga. Give me an example of sacrifice that you do. Very good. So you go do a volunteer today. What do you lose? Your time, your energy, right? You could play games during that volunteer time, couldn't you? Yeah? You lose that, but instead, you said, no, I will not go of that time from my playing games. I'll go volunteer for the community. That's good, right? So it's a simple example. What else? We'll discuss a little bit further today about that, right? Okay. So here, look at this picture. Now, Let's say he gave money to this homeless guy versus he cleaned the park. Which one's donation and which one is sacrifice? Money donation is the dana, right? But the volunteering is his sacrifice, right? Is a type of saga. So there's a difference. Which is higher? Is it saga, sacrifice, or the dana donation? Which one's higher? Saga is way higher, right? Because, again, as we discussed before, donation is, you usually do it because it's extra for you, right? I have extra set of clothes, I'll donate it. Oh, I don't use my little bike anymore because I'm grown up. It's sitting in my garage, I give it to someone, right? Because it's sitting in my garage doing nothing, right? It's a donation, it's not a saga, right? But I can be sleeping in my bed, but instead I'll go clean up the community center. That's a sacrifice, right? So basically, so that's the difference between donation and sacrifice at the superficial level. We'll go a little deeper today. အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့ clear ကိုသင်ပြမှာဟာကဒါနနဲ့စာကနဲ့ဘာခေါ်တယ်လဲပေါ့နော်ဒါနဆိုတော့ကိုယ်မှာရှိတဲ့ဟာကိုပိုနေလို့ဖြစ်စေဒါမှမဟုတ်ငါမှနည်းနည်းများနေတယ်ငါနည်းနည်းဖဲ့လှူလိုက်အဲ့လိုဖဲ့လှူလိုက်ခြင်းအပြင်ကိုယ်မှာဘာမှအများကြီးမနဲ့နာသွားဘူးဟလာဒေါ်လာ1 သန်းရှိတဲ့လူကဒေါ်လာ100လှူလိုက်တယ်ဘာဖြစ်သွားလဲဘာမှဖြစ်ဘူးသူ right အိမ်မှာပုံနေတဲ့အဝတ်စားလေးတွေလှူလိုက်တယ်ငါကလေးတွေဒီဝတ်နဲ့မတော်တော့ဘူးငါဒီစပိန်ကကလေးငယ်တော့စီးထားတာအခုငါကလေးလည်းမစီးတော့သေးသွားပြီငါလှူလိုက်တယ်ဒါဒီအလှူဒါနပဲနော်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒါဒီစာကလည်းပဲမရောက်ဘူးစာကတော့မမြင့်ဟုတ်လားအဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကစာကဆိုတာကစာကလုပ်ပြီးဆိုရင်ကို့မှာတိုင်းတာတစ်ခုထိနည်းနည်းလေးရုပ်ရောက်သွားတာဟုတ်လားအိမ်မှာငါရွှေရှင်ကြည့်နေမယ်ငါအိမ်မှာနှက်နေမယ်စာသွားပြီးတော့ဘုန်းကြီးကျောင်းမှာတွေ့စီသွားလဲမယ် right community တော့အမိုက်သွားကောက်ပေးမယ်ဟုတ်ပြီနော်အဲ့ဒါဒီကို့ထက်ကနေထုတ်ပေးလိုက်ရတယ်နော်အဲ့ဒါဒီဒါစာကပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့ဒီတဲ့မျက်နှာစာကတွေရှိတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဒီနေ့အဲ့ဒါကို clear ကိုပြပြကြမယ်ဆွေးနွေးကြမယ်ဟုတ် Alright. So let's first look at a trait of someone who is community center versus self-center. Okay, so give me some traits, the difference between someone who is community center, someone who is self-center. What is self-center person? Who is self-center person? Selfish person, okay? So who is a community center person? Generous. What else? Will self-center person volunteer? Okay, Marina, go ahead with me.
A community-centered person would be willing to give out anything.
Very good to me. Very good. A community-centered person will be willing to sacrifice their time, their energy, right? Whereas a self-centered person will be just selfish, right? So, oh, I would rather play game and stay at home. It's warm and cozy inside the house. It's cold outside. I'm not going to go to the community center and volunteer, right? Whereas the community-centered person, you know, today is my off day. Instead of just being lazy and playing games and sleeping at home, I'll just go out and clean the community, clean the community center. I'll volunteer for elderly people. I'll go to the temple and clean up the temple or whatever, right? So that's the general difference. So let's look at it. Before we get there, let's talk about what is related to you, your teenagers, those of you who are in middle school, high school. You will need to do this very soon, right? So let's talk about why. We're not talking about Buddhism here. We're talking about this country, right? Why U.S. colleges ask for volunteer activities. Yeti, how many hours do you need? You need average about 100 hours, right? So a lot of colleges will look at 100 hours. That's what they expect, right? You don't have to do too much, but yeah, you can if you want to. But they want to see that you have volunteered about 100 hours in your community. Why? Why do they care? Why do US colleges care? Because you might go to college in different states. Why do they care that you do some volunteer service where you live today in California? Why is that weird? It shows your character. Very good. What else? It shows how much of a good person you are. Good. What else? Remember, college is a commitment, right? You gotta sacrifice a lot. Studying require a lot of sacrifice, right? What kind of sacrifice require if you need to study where, Ricky? Very good. Yeah, of course. I just want to watch movies. I just want to play online games. I just want to talk to my friends. I just want to look at Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, whatever. But you got to let go of those and study, right? So compared to today, while you're in middle school, high school, when you go to college, do you think you'll be studying more or less? Way more. That equal to what? Sacrificing your entertainment, your games, right? Now, these college counselors, they don't know you, right? What do they look at? They look at your grades. They look at your SAT score. But SAT score and your grade doesn't tell you much, right? So they need to know inside you, inside your head, your character. How do they find out? Your extracurricular activity that includes this volunteering, right? And they dissect down, okay, what kind of volunteering you did, right? So did you just volunteer in one place, or you did was just sitting at the entrance and checking the tickets? Or is it something related to the career that you want, right? Let's say you want to go to medical school. Did you volunteer at a medical facility, whether that be a hospital or nursing home or elderly place or something like that, right? So the way that they look at is by looking at your volunteer activity, they can guesstimate what type of person you are, whether you will fit well with their program or not, okay? And remember, we go to school, we pick our younger generation because you will be the one leading the community, right? We want to nurture kids who are for the community. We don't want kids who are selfish, right? So that's how they look at it. That's the reason why the college applications, any college application, you name it in the United States, doesn't matter whether private, public, okay? They ask for volunteer hours, all right? Any question? No? So let's look at what the survey showed. So this is from a survey that asked 264 admission officers at private and public US colleges. Now, these are the people who look at your application and make decision. But, oh yeah, this is a kid that we want. We'll give this kid the acceptance offer. This kid, no, go to the trash. Now, these are the guys who answered these surveys. Now look at this, 58% answered out of 264 officers, 58% said a student's community service experience has a positive impact on his or her acceptance to our higher education institution. And 58% of those officers say, do the community service. We will consider only one that kid has community service volunteering hours. 53% said community service can be a deciding factor when the choices are equally qualifying students. Now, of course, they look at your SAT score, they look at your GPA score, right? Then what if you have a bunch of people, the same GPA as you, the same SAT score as you? What do? Then they look at the volunteer hours, right? What kind of volunteering you did. So that's 53%. Even more, 61% of respondents at private school and community service can be the deciding factor. Look at it. Those of you who want to go to like Harvard, Stanford, private school, they actually want more, right? 61%. The private school actually want more of your volunteer hours. They want more of you not being selfish. Someone who is willing to sacrifice their life for their study and for the community. Okay, it is that important, 61%. Now, even higher, 67% of the respondents cited in descending order of importance these three reasons for valuing records of community services. The student is likely to be active in student social life outside the classroom. Now, those of you who, okay, I'm studying, I'm going to school. What's the big deal about volunteering? I don't need to do volunteering. I'll just study. And as long as I get an A's and my SAT score is great, I'll get into a good college. That's not true, right? A lot of private colleges look at outside of the classroom activity, what you do. The student is likely to contribute to the school's mission. The student shares the school's value. So when you look at, it's not about the school here. The first is outside of the classroom, outside of the school. So meaning in your community, your volunteering hours, right? ကျွန်တော်မိဘတွေကလေး middle school လောက်ရောက်မယ် high school ရောက်ပြီဆိုရင် volunteer လုပ်ခိုင်းပါ volunteer လုပ်တဲ့ hour တွေဒီအတော်အရေးကြီးပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ US မှာရှိတဲ့ college မှန်သမျှဒီ volunteer လုပ်တာကိုကြည့်တယ်သူတို့ volunteer လုပ်တာကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့မှဒီကလေးတွေသူတို့ကြောင်းနဲ့တင့်တော်လားမတင့်တော်လားဆိုတာဆုံးဖြတ်ချတယ်နော်အဲ့တော့ကလေးတွေကိုအခုရစပြီး volunteer လုပ်ခိုင်းပါ Okay, any question? Very good, let's move on. So let's look at this picture. What does it tell you? So the heading says sacrifice for sex and life. What does it tell you? So the upper two picture, what does it tell you? That's something that you want to do always, right? I will always want to go to Disneyland or Disney World vacation. Right? I want to do that. I don't mind doing that every day. Do you? No, right? You can go on vacation every day and you will not complain. Or I can play games anytime. I will not complain. But show you though. Should I go on vacation every day? Should I just play games? No, right? So the lower picture, so you're cleaning the beach, you're helping your mom, right? You're studying. So these are sacrifices too, right? What are you sacrificing? You're sacrificing you're playing games or watching movies or going to vacation. Instead, you either study, you help your mom, you clean in the community. Now that sacrifice job will lead you to success in life. All right. So that's what saga is about, right? So sacrificing part of your life, part of your time for the community, for your family. Okay. That way you will be successful in life. All right. So I asked you about the character traits difference between someone who is community-centered and someone who is self-centered or selfish individual. Now, everyone, okay, any person in life, even if you say, oh, that guy is very egoistic, very self-centered, do they still do some community service? Yes, right? But the difference is they're focusing more so on their self, like a upside down pyramid or triangle, right? So they're always me, my, right? I need this, I need that, I want this. Then next step, oh, that's for my relative, that's for my mom, that's for my family. Okay, so the Only after that, we'll go to the community service. Whereas a community-centered person is, community service is the most. Okay. Only after that, it will go to, oh, it's my family, my relative, my cousin, right? My friend. And the least is for me, right? So this is a community-centered person. The other is a selfish individual. They're totally upside down, right? So now today, ask yourself, where are you? Are you on the right side? Are you on the left side? Are you in the middle? Now, even if you answer, okay, you know, I'm a little bit selfish today, try to move yourself to the left. Okay? အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကအတ္တကြီးတဲ့လူနဲ့အတ္တမကြီးတဲ့လူနော်ခွာတာကဘာပဲခွာလို့ဆိုတော့အတ္တကြီးလို့ပြောခံရတဲ့လူကလည်း तू က 100% သူ့ကိုယ်သူကြည့်တာတော့မဟုတ်ဘူး तू ကအမျိုးတွေလည်းကြည့်မယ်သူ့ရဲ့ community ကိုကြည့်မယ်ဒါပေမဲ့သူ့ရဲ့အဓိကသူစိတ်ဝင်စားတာဒီသူ့အတွက်ပဲသူ့အတွက်ပြီးတော့မှ तू ကမိတ်ဆွေတွေသူ့ရဲ့အမျိုးတွေကို तू နည်းနည်းကြည့်မယ်အမြင်အတွက်ဆိုရင် तू basic လေးပဲကြည့်ဒါပေမဲ့မြတ်စွာဘုရားလိုမျိုးကိုကြုံကြည့်တဲ့လူကကြတော့အဓိကသူရဲ့ပတ်ဝန်းကျင်ကို तू အဓိကကြည့်မယ်ပြီးတော့မှသူ့ရဲ့အဆွေမျိုးတိုင်းဝန်းတွေကိုကြည့်မယ်တကယ်ချင်းပေါင်းတဲ့တွေကိုကြည့်မယ်ပြီးမှသူ့အတွက်ဒီနောက်ဆုံးမှလာဟုတ်ပြီလားအဲ့တော့အလုံးကတော့အတူတူပဲဘာကွာတယ်လဲဆိုတော့သူ့ရဲ့ degree ကွာသွားတယ်ဟုတ်ပြီနော် Okay so in Pali we call it bodhisattva meaning the Buddha to be remember every single person in Buddhism is bodhisattva meaning Buddha to be you can be Buddha I can be Buddha anyone can be Buddha we all are bodhisattva right so the Buddha to be to start with Lokata Sariya meaning Loka means the community right the humankind the nature you do it for the community you did for the humankind you did for the nature followed by Nyatata Sariya by the relative friends right only after that Bodhata Sariya meaning for self so for Buddha even for his liberation if he just wanted to be liberated did he have to work too hard for too long no the very first time when he met the very first Buddha, he could have been liberated. Then he didn't, right? He practiced quadrillion billions of years, suffered. Okay, practice saga for the benefit of the others, right? So this is a practice of this community focus. Only after that followed by relative, after that followed by self is basically the practice of a bodhisattva, right? So we call it in Pali, Buddha said, Lokata Sariya, Nyatata Sariya, and Bodhata Sariya. Okay? Now, ကျွန်တော်တို့မြတ်စွာဘုရားလောင်းလို့လူကျွန်တော်တို့ဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာတိုင်းဒီဘုရားလောင်းနေပဲ right ကိုဖြစ်ချင်ဘုရားဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်မဖြစ်ချင်တော့လည်းမဖြစ်ဘူးပေါ့နော်ဘုရားဖြစ်ချင်တဲ့စိတ်ရှိတဲ့သူဒီအတိုင်းပဲဖြစ်တယ်အဲ့တော့လောဘသားကောင်တွေဒီမိမိကျိုးအများဆုံးဦးထားပြီးလုပ်တယ်ပြီးရင်ဆွေမျိုးတွေပေါင်းသင်းတွေငယ်ချင်းတွေကိုပဲကြည့်တယ်ပြီးတော့မှကျန်တဲ့လူတွေကိုကြည့် right ဒါပေမဲ့မြတ်စွာဘုရားလိုလူကျွန်တော်တို့ဘုရားလောင်းလို့လူကကြတော့အများဆုံးသူကလူလောကကြီးမှာလောကတ္တစရိယလို့မြတ်စွာဘုရားပြောခဲ့တဲ့သူကလူလောကကြီးအကြောင်းကိုအဓိကကြည့်လောကကြီးအတွက်အဓိကထားလို့ပြီးတော့မှသူကဆွေမျိုးမိတ်သင်္ခါသူ့ရဲ့ပေါင်းသင်းတဲ့ငယ်ချင်းတွေအတွက်ကြည့်မယ်ပြီးရင်ဗုဒ္ဓတ္တစရိယဆိုတာမိမိလွတ်မြောက်ရေးအတွက်လုပ်ကျွန်တော်တို့မြတ်စွာဘုရားဒီပင်္ဂရာမြတ်စွာဘုရားမှာဗျာဒိတ်ပေးခံတဲ့အချိန်တွေကသူယဟန္တာဖြစ်ပြီးတော့သူနိဗ္ဗာန်ရောက်လို့ရတာနော်သူသာအတ္တကြည့်မယ်တော့ပြီကွာငါပြင်မလိုက်တာငါနိဗ္ဗာန်ရောက်လုပ်မယ်ဆိုရင်အဲ့ဒီကလုပ်လို့ရတယ်သူမလုပ်ခဲ့ဘူးဒုက္ခပေါင်းမြောက်များစွာကဘာပေါင်းမြောက်စွာခံအောင်ကျန်တဲ့လူတွေကိုဘုရားလိုမျိုးဖြစ်ပြီးတော့သူကြွချင်လို့သူဒီဘုရားလောင်းစိတ်သက်ရှိတဲ့အတွက်ဒီလောကတ္တစရိယညာတ္တစရိယ ဗုဒ္ဓရာဆရာဒီတိုင်းသူကျင့်ခဲ့ဟုတ်ပြီနော်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကလည်းလောကမှာဒီတိုင်းကျင့်ရမယ်ကလေးတွေကိုလည်းဒီတိုင်းကျင့်အောင်ကျွန်တော်တို့သင်ပြသပေးရ Okay so that practice of bodhisattva is so ingrained in Buddhist culture and Burmese culture that even in Burma, so if you do a lot of community service, you volunteer, you donate a lot of money, then the government actually give titles. Now that is carried on by a lot of Buddhist kings from the time of Buddha. In Burma today, it's a little questionable today, but the idea behind that is we want citizens of Burma or the Burmese culture in such a way that it follows for the benefit of the community. And if you do so very good, then the government gives you a title. Okay, so there are several different titles. I'm not going to go over that. But what I want you to understand is it is ingrained in our Burmese culture. It is ingrained in our Buddhist culture. It is good for you to volunteer. Okay? အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့မြတ်စွာဘုရားလက်ထက်တုန်းကတည်းကဒါရှိခဲ့တာပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့သာသနာတော်အတွက်ပြည်သူလူထုအတွက်လူတန်းတွေလုပ်မယ်တန်ရှင်းတွေလုပ်မယ်ဆိုရင်ဘွဲတွေပေးကြတယ်ဟိုးပြင်လက်ထက်ထဲကအဲ့ဒီကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဗမာနိုင်ငံမှာလည်းဒီနေ့ထိရှိတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဒီမှာဥမာဒီမှာဆိုရင်ဒီမှာအကမဟာသီရိသုဓမ္မဘာညာပဲအများကြီးပဲရှိအဲ့ဒီနေ့ဗမာနိုင်ငံမှာတော့တော်တော်များများကဂုံတရေလိုချင်လို့ယာရုကြည့်ချင်လို့အရာရှိတွေနဲ့တွဲချင်လို့လောက်ကြတာများတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့တကယ်ရည်မှန်းချက်ဒီအဲ့ဒါမဟုတ်နော်တကယ်ရည်မှန်းချက်ဒီသာသနာတော်ကိုထောက်ပံ့အောင်လူတွေကိုထောက်ပံ့အောင်နော်အဲ့တော့သူတို့မှာဥမာသိန်းဘလောက်လှူရမယ်ဘလောက်ရှင်ပြုပေးရမယ်မိဘမဲ့ကလေးဘလို့လုပ်ပေးရမယ်ဆိုရက် criteria တွေရှိနော်အဲ့တော့အဲ့ဒါတွေဒီတော်တော်ကောင်းပါလားနော်အဲ့တော့ဒီနေ့ဗမာနိုင်ငံမှာဖြစ်နေတာကိုသွားမကြည့်ပါနဲ့တကယ်အနှစ်သာရကိုကြည့်နော်အနှစ်သာရဒီကျွန်တော်တို့ကခုနဘောဓိတတ္တဖျားလောင်းလိုမျိုးကျင့်စေချင်နော် Okay so now we're going to go a little higher so we talk about the donation so we're going to go a little higher to higher level of sacrifice and there is something else called nekkhamma which is even higher the actually highest to be a Buddha okay so we're slowly going to go to that deeper degree now we're done with donation we all know about donation now right yes you should donate whenever you can but we should sacrifice too for the community and for the benefit of yourself now we're going to go deeper level of sacrifice leading to the nekkhamma rightကျွန်တော်တို့ကဒါနရဲ့စာကရဲ့nekkhammaဆိုရှိ right nekkhamma level ဆိုတာဖျားဖြစ်အောင်ကျင့်ရတယ်လေနော်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့မှာဒီစာကရဲ့နည်းနည်းပို့ပြီးတော့လေးနဲ့တဲ့အပိုင်းရဲ့ nekkhamma ဆိုတဲ့ဟာကိုသွားကြအောင် okay so whenever we talk about deeper level of saga and nekkhamma we go back to the younger life of Buddha very last life of Buddha before Buddha one life before Buddha okay Buddha was a king okay here is a story so I want one of you to read Sarah could you read that please
Birth of a prince and an elephant. Once upon a time in the kingdom of Sivirata, there reigned a king named Sajaya and his wife Pusati, and they lived in a beautiful palace in the city of Jetutara. In the time of Pusati, standing in a magnificent orchid of salad trees and holding firmly to a branch, gave birth to a beautiful little prince, and they named him Visantara. Prince Visantara was born at exactly the same moment as a beautiful white elephant named Pachaya which had the ability to bring rain. When Prince Vaisantara reached the age of 16, he was strong and handsome, and was therefore married to a beautiful princess named Madi. In time they had 2 children, a son named Jali and a daughter named Kanajina. Eventually it came time for King Sanjaya to retire to a life of meditation and for Prince Vaisantara to succeed his father as king.
Thank you, me. So this is about the very famous king called Vaisantara. So he was born together with an elephant who has supernatural power. Whenever that elephant is there, it rains. Okay? So remember, during the time of Buddha, the main business in most of the kingdom is what? Farming, cultivation, right? They need rain, right? So because of this elephant, this kingdom always has good amount of rain and they are prosperous. A lot of other countries around them do not get the correct amount of rain. Either they have too much rain or too little rain, and they're poor. So what do you think they want? They want the elephant, right? So now this prince, because his father wants to meditate, he further left the kingdom, went to the forest to meditate, he became the king, right? He has a beautiful wife and a daughter and a son, okay? All right, so let's read. Kevin, could you read?
But Prince Vaisantara wanted to attain perfection, and to do that he knew that he needed to donate to others all that was precious to him. No sooner had he become king than 8 Brahmins appeared from the rival state of Kalinga, which had experienced 7 years of drought. They asked to have the white elephant Pachaya had brought rain to Sivarata so that it could bring rain to Kalinga instead. And so, seeking to attain perfection, Prince Vaisantara gave them the elephant, and the 8 Brahmins went away chuckling. Naturally, the people of Sivarata were angry at the loss of their precious and beloved white rain-bringing elephant, and they petitioned King Sanjaya to return to the throne and to send Prince Vaisantara into religious exile instead. And so this was done, although not before Prince Vaisantara had held a goodbye almsgiving and distributed vast wealth to all who asked.
Thank you, Zach. So the rival country, neighboring country called Kalinga. So because they want that elephant, so they came and they asked for donation of that elephant. So the king, Vaisantara said, yes, take it. He donated. So that angered the whole country. So imagine, they know because of the power of that elephant, they get the right amount of rain every day, every year, and they're prosperous. And if you donate that elephant, they're going to have drought or they're going to have too much rain and they will suffer. So the whole country became very angry and they went to the former king, his father, and told his father, hey, you know, your son is doing something stupid. We don't want him anymore. Take down from the throne and kick him out. So the righteous king father said, okay, well, my citizens are right. So he told his son, you know, citizens don't want you anymore because of what you did. even though I support you, but I have to support my country, my citizens. They want you to exile to the jungle. So he happily did. Not only that, he actually took out all his belongings and gave it away. Do you think you won't do it, or you will be able to do it if you were the king like him? What do you think? Probably no. It's not easy, right? So, but he did. Okay? It's going to get better. All right. Kathleen, could you read, please?
Finally, Prince Visantara, with his wife Mati and their children Jali and Kanhajina, set out to religious exile in the wilds of Mount Vankagiri, riding in a royal chariot drawn by 4 beautiful horses, even though the road was meant to be full of obstacles, including fierce animals and evil thieves and murderers. On their way, they encountered 4 greedy Brahmins who asked for the horses, and so Prince Visantara, wishing to become perfect, gave them the horses. Fortunately, the gods were looking on and transformed themselves into golden deer to pull the chariot instead.
Thank you, me. So he left the palace. He took his wife, his son, and the daughter with him. So he took the chariot with nice horses. But then there are greedy people who knows that the king is so generous that they came and asked for the horses. Can you donate the horses to us? Well, come on, I'm going to go to the jungle with my family with me, and without my horses, how am I going to go? Would you donate it? No, but he did. He gave the horses away. But luckily, because all the guardian angels are watching over him, the guardian angels transformed themselves to the beautiful deers and pulled the chariot. Okay? So it's going to get better than that. All right. So who else would like to read? I'd like to volunteer who haven't read. Karatmi, would you like to read?
Soon a greedy Brahmin appeared and asked for the chariot. Prince Vesantara, wishing to become perfect, gave it to him, and the family had to walk instead. Prince Vesantara created his son Jali, while Mati bore their daughter Kahanjina, and thus they journeyed through
Desolate waste.
desolate wastes and deep jungles, crossing the rivers and canyons and mountains, never realizing that they were able to do this only with the hidden help of gods watching over them, protecting them from wild animals and provisioning them with clean water and abundant food. Sometimes people gathered along the roadside to beg Prince Vesantara to become their king, in this view of his penchant for extreme generosity. At length, the little family entered a mountain realm where the god Saka had 2 hermitages built at the Mount Vankagiri to receive them, one for Prince Vesantara and one for Mati and the children. Here they remained for 7 months.
Thank you, me. So in life, there are more greedy people than people who wants to donate, right? Because people know that the king Visantara is so generous. Now they first asked for horses. Now another group of greedy people came and asked for chariot, right? Guess what? He gave it away. Now he has to carry his son, and his wife has to carry his daughter, and they had to literally walk on their own feet through the jungle to get to the place where they are exiled to. Not easy, right? Going to get better. All right. So who also would like to volunteer for reading? William, could you read?
Sometime before, in the holy city of Varanasi, there had lived a very disagreeable and remarkably ugly Brahmin named Jujaka, known to everyone for his extreme greed. One day, his house had unexpectedly burned to the ground, probably because of the bad karma created by his many evil deeds. But Jujaka was a money lender, and many people owed him money. And so, in hopes of recovering from his losses in the fire, he had gone to Mount Vankagiri, where there lived a couple who owed him money. Since they had none to pay him, he took instead their beautiful daughter Amitata to be his wife. Amitata was a faithful wife to him because she had been well brought up and understood her duty. But he was very demanding, and at last, after enduring a great deal of teasing and scolding from the village women, she insisted that he ask for Jali and Kahajina as servants. After various adventures, the wicked Brahmin Jujaka arrived outside the hermitages where Prince Visantara and his family were staying, and there he concealed himself to await the dawn. The next morning, Mari went out into the forest to look for food for the family meals. After she had gone some distance, her way was blocked by 3 gods disguised as animals, who made her turn back.
Thank you, Dad. So this is a very famous piece in Burma. So your parents will remember when I was young, when I watched this scene, people cry, people are so angry, okay? Now look at this guy. He is a rich guy, but are very ugly, very mean, right? He married that beautiful girl because her parents owed money to him, okay? So, and she at one day, because he asked her to do so much work, he said, why, if you really love me, why don't you go get those 2 kids for me as a slave for me? The son and the daughter of the king. Okay. Now, this whole piece of play in the theaters in Burma always when we were young. Your parents, your grandparents really, really liked it. Okay. So in Burmese, we call it Zali and Kanase, right? A lot of your parents will not know these names, but we Burmanize it. The son is Zali and the daughter is Kanase. And the name, we pronounce Susaka Pona, right? But the real name is Jujaka, okay? So here's described like that, a very fat, mean Brahmin, okay? Yeah. So, all right. So, okay, I would like someone else to volunteer for reading.
So what kind of
Go ahead, son.
You gotta raise.
Go ahead, son.
But it was too late. Before she returned, the wicked Brahmin Jujaka had already arrived at the 2 hermitages, where he asked Prince Vasantara for the 2 children to be his slaves, and Prince Vasantara, wishing to become perfect, immediately agreed. The children were horrified and tried to hide in bond, but Prince Vasantara immediately ordered them to come out, and again he gave Jujaka the children, who tied them up and led them away. More than once they escaped and returned, only given again to Jujaka. Meanwhile, the gods overseeing Prince Vasantara marveled at his perfect generosity.
Thank you, Dad. Now, this sin, whenever you watch those kind of sin in a play, a lot of people will throw stones and rocks and at this guy whoever plays Shujaka. So because he actually tortured the kids ran away. Of course, kids, they didn't want to go, right? but they had to listen to his father, right? They ran away, right? He captured them back, tortured them, whipped them, right? They act so well that people who are watching from the audience, they throw shoes and slippers at this guy, right? So this is a very, very beautiful piece, actually. So it's in the jungle, remember, right? These are young kids, and they're tied by this greedy guy, and they're whipped at time, and they're not fed. So all the guardian angels actually fed them. Why? The Shushka was sleeping. Okay. Now, at this moment, take a little break and think. What do you think? If you were to be kids, how would you feel? Would you feel really happy towards your father? Okay. Imagine if you're the mother, how would you feel? Your husband giving away your own kids. Is it easy? Not at all. It's really, really bad for the kids and for the wife. And now the king, the husband, he was upset too, because when he actually saw the Jushakar torturing his kids, he actually was mad too, but he controlled himself, right? At one point, he almost pulled his sword, okay? But he remembered, well, I already donated the kids to him, so he didn't, okay? So now, do you think that level, is it just a plain donation? No, this is a sacrifice, right? So why is he sacrificing? Remember, he doesn't have to do this for him. He has to do this so that he can become Buddha and enlighten and help the whole humankind, right? If you look at that moment, he's a very, very selfish guy, right? He's a mean guy. He gave away his wife. He gave away his kids. He gave away the elephant. Horrible person, right? That's because you're looking at only at from one small, teeny, narrow angle. But when you look at his whole idea, why he is doing that, because he can become Buddha, enlightened, and help the whole world from suffering. All right. So that's why sometimes you got to look at from different angles, right? Now, a lot of Westerners critique this story of Buddha horribly. Okay, I will be too if I don't really understand the big picture of it, right? But the whole big picture for him is that he is doing this. He is being mean to his own kids and wife and the kingdom so that he can help the whole humankind. Okay, so as a Buddhist, this is how the practice of Saga is ingrained into our head with this example of the Buddha to be. Okay, so let's move on. All right, anyone else would like to volunteer?
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson, go ahead.
Says like Mary arrived back in the hostage. She was surprised and then horrified not to like something is rocking it because I see the word record. So she's rocking it. Children, finally, when she learned what her husband had done, she fainted dead away right into the arms. The princess was Victoria, seeking to test the limits of Prince Vesator generously. The god Saka transformed himself into an ugly Brahmin and appeared before Prince Vatsatara. May I have your wife? He asked. And the princess, and so Prince Vatsatara, seeking to become perfect, and gave Maddie a ugly Brahmin who was Saka in disguise.
Thank you, Zach.
Then,
So, yeah, 1 second. So now, not only that, he donated his kids. Now, this time is not the greedy person. This time, the king of the Devaram, the Jamin, or Satya, okay? So the king of the Devaram wanted to test him more. So he came down, and guess what he asked for? So he thought, well, he could give away his kids, but I don't think he can give away his wife. So he came, pretending like someone else who is greedy, and asked for his wife. Can I get your wife? Could you donate your wife to me? So the king wisdom said, sure enough, take her. So she fainted. Okay. All right. Ricky, can you read the rest?
Blue in color, tall, strong, and handsome. He returned Maddie to Prince Vasantara, and he tricked Jujaka into leading the children back to the Jatara palace, where King Sanjaya, learning that Prince Vasantara had freely given the royal children to Jujaka, shook his head and paid Jujaka 100 elephants and 100 horses and great mounds of silver and gold to buy them back. The evil Brahmin Jujaka was very greedy and very gluttonous, the exact opposite of Vasantara. And with his new wealth, he bought a great deal of food. He ate, and his stomach grew bigger and bigger until it exploded, and then he descended into hell.
Right. So this is a beautiful piece also. So then everybody's happy, right? When in Burma, when was that show, when this greedy guy died, everybody like claps and dance and everybody cheer, right? So the two little kids, they're guarded by their own guardian angels, right? So they made Suzuka to get lost in the jungle, and instead of going back to his home, they led him to the palace, where he was found by the king's guardsmen, and they took him to the king. So the king said, oh, these are my grandkids. So the king offered whatever amount of money, the horses and the elephants, and give it to that greedy guy. He was so happy. He ate too much. He died. Right? So he died from overfeeding. So in Burmese, well-known saying, we call it Suzaga Bonalo Sabi meaning like you eat too much, you die like him. Right? So whenever we see someone who is eating too much, greedily or quickly, we warn them. Okay? So that's what happened to him. And that's also one of the very beautiful pieces. Everybody's happy when that happened. All right, Marina, let me go ahead.
I have a question. So the question is like, is the wife still alive? Because like the kids are back now. Is she alive or is she just dead now?
She actually was with the with Santra. Yeah, she's still alive. Yeah, she fainted. She didn't really die. She was fainted. She was shocked. So she fainted. Remember, her own kids were given away, and not only that, she was really sad already, and now her husband is giving her away, so she fainted. Right? Imagine if your dad do that to you and your mom, what would you do?
Oh.
Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. The Marina, can you read that? Marina, can you read this? Oh, okay. All right. First, Keanu, are you there? All right. Anyone would like to read?
So, I'd like to read.
Okay.
Finally, promised by Saka that he had attained perfection and would be born in his next life as Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, Prince Vesantara led his wife Madi back to the palace at Jutathara and became the king of the kingdom of Sivaratha, which worked out better this time because Saka sent a rain of precious gems that fell from the sky and filled the palace, so that Prince Vesantara could freely give great wealth to all who asked. All about at the same time, Pagaya, the elephant, was politely returned to the people of Galinga, who had more rain than they wanted, which brought great joy back to Sivaratha and Pagaya. Who was glad to be back. On his death, Prince, now King Visantara, ascended to Tushita heaven, and there he waited to come to earth once more as Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha.
Thank you, Thad. So now eventually the king of the Deva helped the whole issue, and he helped him to go back to the kingdom. He used his supernatural power to rain all these jewelries and gold for the kingdom. And the other king also returned the elephant. So that's how the story ended very happily. And when he died, he went up to the two-seater heaven. So as you know, there are 6 layers of the heaven realm and the two-seater realm. So he became a separate there. And after he died, he will become the Prince Siddhartha and became Buddha. Okay. Now, this story is very famous in Buddhism, very famous in Burma. We always watch movie about this, really enjoy it. It talks always about sacrificing your life for the benefit of others, right? Of course, we don't expect you to be doing like him, giving away your husband or your wife or your kids or your belongings. But what I want you to learn is don't be selfish, right? You gotta sacrifice things that you like in life to be successful. So you gotta sacrifice, watch a movie, some food, right? Oh, instead of going to vacation, I will just save that money and donate to homeless people. Instead of playing games, I'll go out to the community and volunteer. Instead of sleeping, I'll go help mom clean the house, right? That is encouraged, right? That is the quality of a Buddha to be, okay? So these are the types of advanced saga leading to Nekama. Remember we talked about Dana, Saga, and even higher level, meaning Nekama, right? Now, before we go there, now, these are the advanced level saga that not many people can do, okay? So there are 5 that called Dana Prisaga, meaning donation of belongings, including the kingdom. You can donate your home, your car, your jewelries for the betterment of the community. right? Dana Prisaga. Putta means son in Pali. Okay? Putta Prisaga, donation of own parent. Like the king Visantara did. Bariya Prisaga, Bariya means wife, donation of his own wife. Anga Prisaga, now we didn't talk about these two, right? Buddha did number 4 and number 5 quite a lot also. Okay. Now, what is Anga Prisaga? Anga Prisaga means donation of own body parts. Okay. Today, I can donate my eyes, my liver after I die. But if someone come ask me, hey, man, can you donate your eye for me right now? I said, no, thank you. I can donate when I die. You can take my eye after I die. I don't care. Right? Hey, can you donate your liver? Oh, my liver is precious. No, thank you. But I will donate my liver after I die. Now imagine a lot of people don't want to donate anything even after they die. Right? How many people are willing to donate their organs after they die today? Very, very few. Right? We don't have enough organ donors today. Right? We have people who die with liver failure from different diseases, kidney failure. Right? I'm not asking you to donate part of your liver or kidney today. You don't have to. But as a Buddhist, I encourage you to donate part of your organ after you die, because as a Buddhist, your body is useless. Your body is going to be decayed. Right? I would rather donate any part of my body after I die, and the rest, you can feed my body to animals. I don't mind. Okay? That's the Buddhist mindset. Okay? Now, a lot of other religions, you can't, because your body has to be intact so that you can go to next realm, to the heaven. Okay? Some religion, you got to bury in a certain way so that you can go to heaven. We Buddhists don't believe in that. When we die, that body is useless. So for me, I'm a whole organ donor. They can take any part of my body, and if my body is useless, they can donate it to medical school, and medical students can dissect on my body. I have no problem. Okay? But of course, I'm not like Buddha to be where Buddha donated a life, his own eyes, right? His own limbs. Buddha donated more than the eyes Buddha donated number of eyes more than the number of stars that you can see on the sky. Okay? So that's the level of Saga Buddha practice. Now, I'm not saying you have to do like he did. Okay? But if we can do just teeny minuscule of what he did, that'll be good for the community. Okay? So that Anga Parisaga. Jivita Parisaga means you donate your own life. And Buddha did that. So we'll talk about those stories later, how he donated his life. Okay? So, Dana Prisaga, Buddha Prisaga, Bariya Prisaga, Anga Prisaga, Zivita Prisaga, so biro, tuye pisiye lure, tuye chinan lure, miri tari lure, mima zanimia lure, chinga li pyapi lure, tu lugere myasi di, blau myale so yen, kauma shire, jegara, bumyale lu, sa surhari shire, that's some be lure. General, allow Luciam Lobu, Davime, Buddha Dianine, Okanago, Masoven, and Adeno, I at the long, I at the Jade had the lonely go Jada, you believe it? So a Halida, Buddha Dianin and Lotan. Oh, General Gu, in Angamatic, to day, Engari Sato Guluya, I'm a Lumalumishu. Oh, the reclan nothing. Go the Wabi, Bachelor, go at this right over Pagamo. Go alone to let you believe it. Oh, we know. Oh, Janoni Net, I don't know, Vivari. Tuba, Dona Sen, Thumba. You know, the name of the UC Davis or Lakane Guria. No, Pasa Gola Tata, go the wine, go mute me, go mute, call I my phone call and go like you are. Pasa Gola Tata. No, Kudu. So today, you can donate your body. You can donate to UC Davis. So after you die, your family just call that number, they'll come, pick up your body. They will extract any body part that they can put into someone else, right? They can take your skin. Skin is very precious. They can replace skin. A lot of people have burn injury. They can cut your skin, put it on their skin. Eyes, bone graft, right? So a lot of organs, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, you can donate a lot of part of your body. Because if we don't do that, your body will be sitting in that freezer for 7 days or whatever days. After they're going to burn. That's a pollution. I don't want my body to pollute the air. Right? A lot of carbon monoxide will come out if we burn a body. Right? We use a lot of gas to burn a body. We don't want that. So as a Buddhist, donate your body. You don't have to do life donation only after you die. Okay? So, but that's what Buddha did. So that's a higher level of saga. Right? Now, we're going to go to a little deeper called nekama. Now, sacrifice is saga. Nekama is for you to be liberated. When we meditate, right, you have this attachment or this greed to itchy. I want to move my body. You let go of it. Okay? I want to eat. I like this food so much. Okay? You're meditating, but your mind is going all over the place. The mind is, I want to play that game. Oh, I want to check my TikTok. Oh, my friend might be posting this on YouTube. I want to watch a movie. Your mind go all over the place, right? You want to finish meditation, right? You're studying for a test, but suddenly you hear a little tone from your phone. You want to check it. Well, if you don't check, what will happen? Nothing serious will happen. But you can control your mind, right? So letting go of those very separate attachments. Okay, that's the nekama. Okay, so when you get to that level, you want to be liberated. You got to go to nekama level. Now forget about donation. You got to do it. Sacrifice, saga. You got to do it, right? Even more so, you're gonna go let go of all the little tiny attachment to your games, to your friends, to your taste, to your smell. Those 6 senses, you're gonna let go of those. Only then it will get to the level of nekama. Only then you will be liberated. Okay, so that's the level. We start from being selfish to community center, right? Through lowest level of donation, a little higher level of different level of sacrifice, then the highest level of nekama, letting go of all the attachment, right? အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကလူဆိုတာလောဘသားကောင်းကြီးပဲကိုယ့်တက်ကိုကြည့်ကြတာများတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့တတ်နိုင်သလောက်ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတန်တရားလွတ်ချင်တယ်ဆိုရင်ဘယ်ကနေစမလဲဆိုဒါနကနေစမယ်ဒါနသည်အစဉ်နှိမ်ဆုံးပဲအပြင်စာကလည်းပဲသွားမယ်ကိုမလူချင်တဲ့ဟာမလူနိုင်တဲ့ဟာတွေတတ်နိုင်သလောက်လှူမယ်ပြီးရင်ဒီတဲ့ပို့ပြီးတော့နူးညံ့တဲ့နေခမလို့ခေါ်တဲ့စားတောက်လေးမမောတာအနံ့လေးမမောတာအတန်လေးမမောတာတရားထိုင်နေလှုပ်ချင်တာဖြုတ်ချင်တာအဲ့ဒီဟာတွေကိုကျင့်မှပဲကျွန်တော်တို့ကနိဗ္ဗာန်ရောက် right okay so that's about nekama right so you not only let go of your kingdom your cars okay whatever supernatural power you have if you want to go to nirvana you gotta let go of all those okay so before we get to this we will meditate about 10 minutes so I want all of you to get down sit straight all right keep your back straight close your eyes we're going to practice nekama letting go of our attachment. We all are Buddhist. We all practice donation, dana already to a certain level. And we all practice saga. We all volunteer to clean our home, to help your parents, to do chores. We go to the temple, we donate money, we clean the temple. You go to the community and you do volunteer service. So as a Buddhist, you're doing a great job. You are doing dana and saga already. Now we're going to practice nekkhamma, letting go of your subtle attachment to those senses. Try to scan your body from head to toe. Keep your back straight. Scan your body from head to toe. Keep on scanning up and down. ကျွန်တော်တို့ဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာရေးအနေနဲ့ဒါနဆိုတာလဲအားလုံးလုပ်ကြတယ်။စာကဆိုတာလဲအတိုင်းအတာတစ်ခုထိကျွန်တော်လုပ်ကြတယ်။ကိုယ့်ရဲ့ချိန်တွေကနေဖက်ပေးပြီးတော့ကိုယ်ပတ်ဝန်းကျင်အတွက်မြန်မာတိုင်းဝမ်အတွက်ဘုန်းကြီးကျောင်းအတွက်တန်ရှင်းတွေလုပ်တယ်။ကိုယ်ရွှေရှင်ကြည့်ရမယ့်ချိန်ခီးထွက်မယ့်ချိန်ကနေဖက်ပြီးတော့ဘုန်းကြီးကျောင်းကိုသွားတယ်။လူတန်းလုပ်တယ်တန်ရှင်းလုပ်တယ်ဒါစာကတယ်။ဒါပေမဲ့အခုတရားထိုင်တဲ့အချိန်မှာကျွန်တော်တို့ကနိက္ခမဆိုရဲဒီအာယုံ6ပါးမှာစွဲနေတဲ့ဆွဲလန်းတာလေးတွေကိုမတုတ်ပြန်မဲနဲ့စောင့်မှလိုက်ဒါကိုနိက္ခမခြင်းတယ်လို့ခေါ်ဒီလို level လွယ်လွယ်လေးပေါ့။အော်ရတယ်ကုတ်ချင်တယ်။ငါ6လေးလှုပ်ချင်တယ်ခါလေးဆန့်ချင်တယ်။အဲ့ဒီဟာလေးတွေကိုကိုကကြည့်ပြီးတော့ဒါကိုမလိုက်ရောပဲနဲ့မတုံ့ပြန်ပဲနဲ့ကြည်ကြည်သားသားစိတ်လေးချမ်းချမ်းသာသာနဲ့မတုံ့ပြန်ပဲနဲ့နေနိုင်တာနိက္ခမကိုစကြင်တာ So now you're going to feel stiff at one part of your body, whether that be your back, your leg, your shoulder. Anywhere in your body, you will have some discomfort, some unpleasant sensation. Nikkama is to let go of that by not reacting. You visualize that spot where it's giving you itchiness, your right leg, your back, itchy, discomfort, pain. Feel that area and see your mind. Compared to what Buddha did, donated his own body, his organs, his kids. What you are suffering right now is nothing. So just make yourself aware of that temptation and let go of it. Let it go. Nekkhamma is nothing but letting go of your fine attachment to your senses. And when we say letting go, you let go of it happily. You're happy that you have this ability of letting go of your attachment to sensation. You want to move because you're attached to good sensation. Right now, your legs are numb. You don't like that. The reason why you don't like that numbness sensation is because you're looking for pleasant sensation. You're attached to that pleasant sensation, you're looking for it. But let go of that. No matter how much your right leg wants to move, let go of it. No matter how much you want to scratch your face, your nose, let go of it. That's nekama. You're practicing nekama parami. One of the 10 paramis that will help you to be liberated. Keep your mind focused. If you don't have any unpleasant sensation, just focus on your breath. But a lot of us will have unpleasant sensation. At least on one part of the body, sometimes maybe two parts of the body. Remember, what you're practicing is higher than the donation or the saga, the dana or the saga. You're practicing nekama. As a Buddhist, you can practice all three. The dana, donation. The saga, sacrifice, volunteer. And nekama, letting go. Scan your body, relax. Our motto, don't react, use self-awareness, focus on the touch. Train you to become a good Buddhist, a good meditator, someone who can practice nekama by not reacting. The nekama, nekama ဆိုတဲ့မတုံ့ပြန်မနဲ့ဒီအာယုံ6ပါးမှာဝင်လာတဲ့မကောင်းတဲ့တတ်မှတ်တော်တာမှုလေးတွေလက်ကလေးလှုပ်ချင်တာချက်ကလောက်ကလေးရွှေ့ချင်တာအားလေးဆန့်ချင်တာနှာခေါင်းလေးရတာလေးကုတ်ချင်တာစိတ်ကူးလေးရင်ပြီးတော့မျောနေချင်တာအဲ့ဒါလေးတွေကိုလိုက်သိပြီးတော့ဒါတွေကိုငါမလုပ်ဘူးလို့စောင့်လှောက်လိုက်တာဒါနိက္ခမကိုကျင့်တယ်လို့နိက္ခမများများကျင့်မှာကျွန်တော်တို့ကနိဗ္ဗာန်ကိုရောက်မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်နောက်3 minutes လောက်ညီညီလေးကျင့်ချင်မယ် We're going to practice in silence for about 3 minutes. We're now going to enter a meditation. Shift your attention to your eyelids and slowly open your eyes. Okay, we're going to do our aspiration. Idam me punya asawakya wahan hotu. Idam me punya nebbanasa pisayo hotu. Imam punya bagan sabba satana basema. ဤသို့ပြုရမြတ်ပုံညကြောင့်ချမ်းမြအေးချီဘေးမဲ့မိသည်ရွှေပြည်ထုတ်ချလမ်းမကောက်ဖဲရောက်ရပါလို့ထိုးထိုးဘဝရှင်လဲရလဲဒုက္ခဗေဒံယမအပေါင်းမကောင်းဟုသမျှမတွေ့ရပဲသဗ္ဗအိစ္ဆာမင်္ဂလာကိုရွယ်ကားတာတိုင်းရစေတော့ယနေ့ယခုပြုသမျှမြတ်ဘာကကို Viva Saya Myoda Hani Oma Sangja Ozang Naka Ayen Sayi Jimia Longsong Bong Zati Pipit Tamia Winayado Yaja Vazi Dinga Widi မြာထွေသာတုဟောစေကောအာလုံးကြာကြာသမျှအမြအမြအမြယူတော်မူကြပါကုန်လောသာတုသာတုသာတုအာလုံးကြာကြာသမျှအမြအမြအမြယူတော်မူကြပါကုန်လောသာတုသာတုသာတုအာလုံးကြာကြာသမျှအမြအမြအမြယူတော်မူကြပါကုန်လောသာတုသာတု All right, so this is what you should discuss with your parents. So by now, you all should remember what SPLOD stand for, right? Sure, pure learner, offer, and doer. Or Saddha, Sila, Sudra, Saga, Pinya. You should remember it by heart. And why we need to practice it? Because through that practice, you can fulfill any wish in your life and even to be liberated from samsara, right? That's all the Buddhas, that's how they practice to be liberated from samsara. What's the difference between donation, dana, and renunciation, saga? Okay, now you all know the difference between the donation, the dana, and the saga. Why do US colleges value volunteering experience in selecting a candidate? Now you know the benefit of the saga practice, right? You don't have to wait for next life, right? At this moment, you need it. You need to practice saga. Even these US colleges who are not Buddhist, they look for your saga, right? What are the traits of a community center versus self-centered person? Remember that triangle, okay? Who is the king Vesantra and why is his story so valued in Buddhism? So ask your parents. They will tell you how much they like that story. And what I show you today is just the small, like watered down version. Actually, it's the whole thick big book like this. Okay, if you want to read the whole story, I have it. It's really, really beautiful. It's an epic, right? It's a Buddhist epic if you want to read about it. So if you read that story, so when that greedy Brahman tortured those little kids, so it talks a whole chapter. Okay, so it's beautiful. It's beautifully written. And unfortunately, there are no movies shot in Western world. Maybe I can expect one of you to become a director and shoot that movie in the Western version, like Disney version. You'll be making a lot of money. Very beautiful. Okay. No, not in that way, but in a different way. So why is the art of letting go important in life? Because that's the nekama. Only when you let go slowly, bit by bit, eventually to a point that you liberate it. So letting go, the art of letting go is the key in life, okay? You're gonna let go of your ego. You're gonna let go of your sensual desire. You're gonna let go of your earthly desire so that you can go an earthbound, right? And again, I still want you to remember about our Quantum Nobis theme song, because also our Quantum Nobis theme song talk about that.